house, a guardian of its secrets, a keeper of its sorrows. No one dared approach the house. Whispers in the walls continued, a haunting melody that echoed through the ages, a testament to the enduring power of the unseen. One particularly dense night, the fog rolled in like a phantom tide, swallowing the town whole. The streets, once familiar and welcoming, transformed into a labyrinth of shadows and whispers. Streetlights flickered, their beams struggling to pierce through the thick veil of mist. The town seemed to hold its breath, waiting for something to happen. Visibility was reduced to mere feet, the air thick with moisture and a palpable sense of dread. Every sound was amplified, the crunch of gravel underfoot, the distant hoot of an owl, all echoing eerily through the fog. It was as if the fog had a life of its own, wrapping around everything it touched, suffocating the town in its cold embrace. It was on this night that young Sarah, returning home from a late visit to a friend, saw it. She had always been brave, but tonight the fog seemed to play tricks on her mind. Every step she took felt heavier, every shadow seemed to move. She clutched her coat tighter around her, her breath visible in the cold night air. A flicker of movement at the edge of the fog-laden street, a shape that shouldn't have been there. Her eyes strained to see through the dense mist, her heart racing. Was it just her imagination, or was there really something lurking in the fog? The figure seemed to waver, almost as if it was part of the fog itself. Her heart pounded in her chest, a frantic drum against her ribs. She could feel the adrenaline coursing through her veins, her senses heightened. Every instinct told her to run, but she was rooted to the spot, unable to tear her eyes away from the mysterious figure. She stopped, squinting through the swirling mist, trying to make sense of what she thought she saw. There it was again, a fleeting glimpse of a tall, dark figure, its form barely distinguishable from the surrounding fog. She blinked, hoping it would disappear, but it remained, a silent sentinel in the night. A tall, slender form shrouded in darkness, its edges blurring into the fog. It stood motionless, watching her, or so it seemed. The air around her grew colder, the fog pressing in closer, as if trying to push her towards the figure. It seemed to glide rather than walk, its movements unnervingly silent. Sarah's breath hitched as the figure began to move towards her, its presence both mesmerizing and terrifying. She knew she had to move to get away, but her legs felt like lead. The figure drew closer, the fog swirling around it like a cloak, and Sarah realized she was not alone. raw primal need to escape. Sarah burst into her home, slamming the door shut behind her, the sound echoing like a gunshot in the sudden silence. She leaned against the door, her chest heaving, her mind a jumble of fear and adrenaline. Had she really seen it, or was it just a figment of her imagination, a trick of the fog and the darkness? She peered out the window, her breath fogging the glass. The street was empty, the fog still thick, but the figure was gone, vanished. But the fear lingered, a cold knot in her stomach, a chilling certainty that what she had seen was real, too real. The next morning the fog had lifted, revealing a town bathed in the pale light of a new day. But the fear that had gripped Sarah the night before remained. She told her story, her voice trembling, her words tumbling out in a torrent of fear and disbelief. At first, people were skeptical. They dismissed her story as a product of an overactive imagination, a childish fear given life by the fog. But as the days turned into weeks and more people reported seeing the figure, the whispers started again. The fear, once dormant, began to stir. Then, one day, a farmer discovered something at the edge of his property, near the old house. A small silver locket, tarnished with age, lay half buried in the mud. It was engraved with a single initial M. The townspeople gathered around, their faces grim, their eyes drawn to the locket as if it held the answers they sought. The initial sparked a flurry of speculation. Who was M? Could this be a clue, a link to the shadowy figure that haunted their town? The locket became a tangible symbol of their fear, a chilling reminder that some mysteries are better left undisturbed. Just out of reach, waiting to be uncovered. Life in the town slowly returned to a semblance of normalcy. The whispers died down, replaced by the everyday sounds of children playing, dogs barking, and the gentle murmur of conversation. The shadowy figure faded into legend, a ghost story told to wide-eyed children on stormy nights. But the memory of that time lingered, a shadow cast over their lives. The old house remained a constant reminder of the fear they had faced, the mystery they had never solved. And sometimes when the fog rolled in, thick and heavy, obscuring the familiar streets, they would remember. And they would wonder, was it just a story, a figment of their collective imagination, or did something truly lurk in the shadows, watching, waiting? The truth, like the fog itself, remained elusive, shifting, impossible to grasp. And in the silence, a single question echoed: was the story truly over, or was it just the beginning? The chilling tale, passed down through generations, served as a reminder. Some mysteries are best left unsolved. Some shadows are better left undisturbed. For in the darkness, fear can take on a life of its own, more terrifying than anything that could ever truly be seen.